Making everyone happy on vacation isn't easy, but you know what is? Going to Aruba. All you have to do is walk out your door to find pristine pools, relaxing white sand beaches, and an island teeming with outdoor activities that'll put a smile on any face. You won't just feel great, you'll all feel great, filled with a calmer, more peaceful vibe that radiates Aruba's warmth. And the best part is, it never fades. That's the Aruba effect. Plan your family trip at Aruba.com.
Survivor 46 is here, and so is On Fire, the only official Survivor podcast, and we have a twist this season. The winner of Survivor 45, Dee Valladares, will be joining us every week.
We're going behind the scenes of the biggest moments, the how and the why things happen, and the strategy and analysis you can only get from someone like me, a Survivor winner.
Listen to On Fire, the official Survivor podcast, wherever you get your podcast.
This is Optimal Relationships Daily, episode 2093. How can a parent find hope when their child is suffering? By Allison Carmen of AllisonCarmen.com. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another parenting edition of ORD with me, your host and narrator, Greg Audino. If you're new here, each Thursday and Friday, we share articles that relate to the parenting journey specifically, as it is very layered, and therefore there are many different perspectives we can consider to help ourselves become the best parents we can be. Today, we will hear the work of Allison Carmen, offering advice and her own story about how to find hope when one's child is suffering. So let's get into it now as we optimize your life. How can a parent find hope when their child is suffering? By Allison Carmen of AllisonCarmen.com. Like most people, the key to my emotional suffering is my attachment to what I desire for my life. In the past, if the outcome to a situation wasn't clear, I became negative and worried that the worst-case scenario was on its way. As many of you know, I finally found relief from much of my pain by embracing the philosophy of maybe. Like a burst of sunlight, I realized that life could unfold in many ways, and maybe whatever I desired would come to fruition. Maybe something else good would happen, or maybe I would be okay no matter what. This turn of thought brought me ease and enabled me to live in the present moment. I was able to let go of my attachment to things happening one way, and I found myself opening up to the entire playing field of life. However, I still struggled and suffered with uncertainty in one area of life: parenting. I am attached to my children. My desire for my children to be well, happy, and peaceful will not waver. I felt the strength of this commitment especially 7 weeks ago, when my oldest daughter sustained a head injury. I couldn't stand her pain and suffering, and would have gladly taken it from her and upon myself, but of course I couldn't. My desire for her to recover was so deep, it predominated over all other thought. As her healing required rest, I felt her disappointment at having to quit her summer job. My heart sank as she worried whether her memory would fully return, and as she struggled to read because her eyes would not stay on the page. There was no detachment for my heart, and every minute she suffered, I suffered too. I remember thinking to myself, where is maybe now when I'm so entrenched in pain and worry? Then a quote that I read a few weeks earlier came to mind. It was, "Uncertainty is the refuge of hope," by Henri Frédéric Amiel. And in that moment, some of my pain went away. I felt some space in my breath and remembered the unknown is my friend. I always believed that my daughter would heal, but my worry was so dense at times that I couldn't feel hope. This quote and the connection between maybe and uncertainty fed my spirit with more space for all the possibilities. Maybe her healing would take some time, and that was okay. Maybe she would need therapy to heal, and maybe we would spend more time together as a family during her recovery. I found the courage to find the hope in the uncertainty that had proved so hard for me to handle. With maybe, I was able to hold my attachment to the future less tightly and with more ease and grace. I was able to accept where my daughter was in the healing process and saw that over time, life would change and that there was hope for new beginnings and new opportunities for her. Now, 7 weeks after her injury, my daughter started her first day of high school. Some symptoms remain, but she is expected to make a full recovery. I feel so grateful and blessed in this moment, and hopeful for her future. I realize that my emotional hook to my children's well-being is a tricky place in my search for joy and peace in life. Yet, at least with Maybe, I can hold it in a wider place where there is more room for change, hope, and possibility through the daily challenges of parenting. We all have tough moments in parenting. Every parent would take all the pain and disappointment from their children in a minute as their own. Unfortunately, as much as we feel their pain with them, we can't take it from them. But when we realize that most of these painful memories still offer each of us the hope that maybe everything will be okay, our suffering lessens. With Maybe, more air enters into the room to help us breathe and get through the challenging times. It gives a more grounded perspective for us and our children for moving forward. My heart opens to every parent trying to do the best today for their child. I hope Maybe can ease your pain and help you to remember that life will keep changing, and so much is possible for each of our children. You just listened to the post titled, "How Can a Parent Find Hope When Their Child is Suffering?" by Allison Carmen of AllisonCarmen.com. Now, I am a big believer that if you want to be your best self in your relationships, or in anything you do, you need to fuel yourself properly. And that's why I'm so happy to have this show sponsored by Factor. Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals make eating better every day easy. You'll have over 35 options a week to choose from, including keto, calorie smart, vegan and veggie, and more. And there's even more to enjoy with over 55 nutrition-packed add-ons that help make your weekly meal planning even more delicious. Factor is the perfect solution if you're looking for fast, upscale, and healthy options done easily. Not to mention it's flexible for your schedule. Get as much or as little as you need by choosing anywhere from 6 to 18 meals per week. Plus, you can pause or reschedule your deliveries anytime with no hassle whatsoever if something changes. So, head to factormeals.com/optimal50, that's optimal50, and use code optimal50 to get 50% off. That's code optimal50 at factormeals.com/optimal50 to get 50% off. Picture a wardrobe upgrade with quality essentials at an unbeatable price. Quince has you covered with timeless pieces that never go out of style. You'll have them in your closet forever. Quince has all the must-haves, like Mongolian cashmere crewneck sweaters from $50, iconic 100% leather jackets, and versatile flow knit activewear. And all Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. That's because by partnering directly with top factories, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us. And most importantly, Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. And as for me, I love Quince's versatility too. They have great home items as well as clothes, and I've been really happy with the bedding that I bought from them. When you look at it and you feel the material, you can tell easily that it's of high quality. So indulge in affordable luxury. Go to quince.com/ORD for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/ORD to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/ORD. And a big thank you to Allison for this post, one that I hope you're able to accept wherever you are. And what I mean when I say that is this. If you are watching your child suffer, or really if you're experiencing anything that you might classify as particularly traumatic, it can be a lot easier to read or listen about someone shifting into this kind of mindset than to do it yourself. It might not seem realistic. It might seem hokey. And if that is your interpretation, then you might find yourself getting awfully mad at this type of content that we heard today. Try to catch yourself there. Look, you don't have to be ready to adopt Allison's way of thinking right now upon finishing this article. But at least see if you can entertain the possibility of it. See if you can say to yourself, maybe a mindset shift like this could be helpful for me someday, or for those who are able to make one. Remaining open and suspending judgment when it comes to how others are healing can be a great first step when we are grieving or worrying about similar things. So think about that, folks. It's time to wrap up for today and call curtain on another episode of ORD. Thank you so much for tuning in as always and making this episode possible. And I hope to see you again in tomorrow's episode, where your optimal life awaits.